So I gotta make Josie a stand. To keep those feet off the ground, to keep the ants from getting in it. This is the pedestal. Before I cover this up, I just wanted to show you how I made it. Very simple. I just cut my pipes the same length and cut a V in 4 short blocks and just screw it to it and clamp it. Now, if in the event this gets loose later, this covers it. The reason for this is you have four pipes that are touching the floor, and this, you can use this not just for chicken feed. This goes for dog feed, horse feed, cattle feed, all this stuff. If you have trouble with ants getting in your feed, you can put metal legs on it like this, and then take 4 little cans to put under each foot and put oil in the can, about 1/4 inch deep, 1/2 inch, it don't matter. And as long as you have oil in those little cups that the feet are sticking in, the ants will not cross that barrier and come up into your feed. There is a method to my madness. I realized years ago I had oily hands as I was putting dog feed in the bin. I decided just to swipe my finger across there and get the oil off. A couple days later I realized the ants would go right up to that film of oil and not cross it. That's where I got my idea from. If in the event these pipes get loose, they won't go any farther than this board here. We are going to be putting quite a bit of weight, probably a couple 100 pounds on this base. So the question was asked, why do I put glass in the melt when I'm doing bronzes, and brass for that matter? Well, it's to help protect the melt from the atmosphere. It leaves a thin membrane on the very top of the melt during the whole process, which keeps the oxygen out of it. This is Mr. Don Lee, and this is his son, Mr. Don Lee Jr., or Big Don, Little Don, right?
That's right.
They gave me a surface plate, and it's not a thick one, thank goodness, but it's still too heavy for 3 men. And we got to get it off this trailer, so as you can see, we've made some skids.
Made some skids.
and we put a 2x4 across the edge of that table. Turns out the whole table's coming up with it. So we got Little Don on the back with a strap going across the belly, and it is wrapped around the back side of that pipe. You think you're gonna hold it with 2 wraps, all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I should be able to. He can always let go.
Yeah. Yeah, as long as we're safely out of the way. All right, we're going. Got it? All right. Hold on, give us a second. It's fixing to drop off on that one. These are friends of mine from Cleveland, Mississippi, Mr. Don Lee and Little Don Lee. As you can see, we just got through unloading a huge surface plate, and well, I still haven't measured the thing. We did not end up mounting it, we just ended up setting it in place. But Don, he owns a business up in Cleveland. You want to tell them a little bit about your business?
Well, we do mostly controls, HVAC in commercial buildings, a lot for the colleges, and we picked up some surface plates at an auction from a college here close by to Clark, and we thought we'd just drop by and pay him a visit. And
I didn't know I was going to end up with a surface plate out of the deal. But
I have more surface plates now than I need anyway.
But anyway, I wanted to introduce you to these guys. I met them out at Soleil at the Steam Festival last year, and I didn't get a call or nothing. They just drove up and had a trailer pulling behind it. But anyway, I do appreciate this. I really do.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It's all you guys have been looking out for me, and if it wasn't for you guys, my life would be incredibly much harder than it already is. But we'll talk to you later. Yeah, and I just dumped a mess.
That's why there was a platform under the other one. Let them cool before I put them back together. What would make the...
I don't know. Got a lot of flashing on these, don't we? Alright, so these are hot.
Let's see. That's our first batch of those spinner crosses. Might just have to let it sit.
Oh, we got pliers.
Yeah, those look good. Those are going to make nice necklaces.
Good. Again, we're not going to have enough. I've got to put more in. So we're getting things ready for the Houston Flywheelers tomorrow. And this was kind of an accident, but it looks pretty good. But these are aluminum. They're strictly a desk ornament. We happen to have some kind of paint we painted them with, and they actually look pretty good. Our printer at the house just wasn't big enough, and we got to have some signs made up for this weekend. Alright, let's try this again. Too hot for me to handle. Looks good so far. If these crazy things would cool off, I could go ahead and cut the gates off and weigh what we've got. But it looks like we're going to have to do that tomorrow. For those that are not familiar with the cores, this will give you a better idea of how the cores work. I'm going to go ahead and needle scale that out of there. Won't take me but a second. But the core displaces the material in the middle. Looks like we've got two good castings. By the way, I want to thank Mr. Doug Ray. He's one of my subscribers who has contributed towards getting a new die grinder. I have had really good luck with the old Milwaukee that was used, so I went ahead and bought several of the same ones. I believe I'm going to have a lifetime supply of spindle grinders now because of that, and I'll be able to keep one set up on each grinder. So Doug, I want to thank you and let you know that your money was spent wisely. So I had some sand penetration get into my cores right here. That has never happened with me. Usually those come out super clean. After I remolded them, I did not go with the graphite coating, which may have helped stop up the pores in the core sand. But that's a little excessive for sand penetration, and I'm not sure. I'm going to go ahead and knock the bulk of that down. I am not happy with that crap. We're not recasting them. As I dig down to the plane of the actual surface, it starts cleaning up. Keith is going to have to remove that mess with the mill. I'll work on it just a little bit more with the cutoff disc, see if I can't remove some material, but I need something similar to a cutoff disc with little notches in it for clearance to keep the bronze from caking up in the pores of the wheels. That would help me a lot. But anyway, this is what we got. We got two big ones here, and then we got one of the smaller ones, and we have, it requires 30 pounds to pour even the small one, so we have 20. Not quite enough with all the gates and sprues that we cut off the other ones, including the risers, and we're gonna have to wait for the other 10 pounds to get here before we can finish the fourth one. The core sand, as I was showing you, looks awful. The one on the far right is with a graphite coating. So that allowed the bronze not to penetrate as bad as it did on these two. I was thinking I'm wasting my time since we're not pouring iron doing that, but it actually did, now that I'm able to compare them, make a difference. But anyway, enough of that. We're going to go ahead and get these shipped where Keith can get to machining them, and hopefully everything's going to go fine. For those of you who are not familiar with what sand penetration is, I think I need to clear that up. It's not getting sand into the material, you're getting material into the sand, which is not below the surface, it's above the surface. So once it's machined, all that crud that you saw on the cast surface is going to be machined off. Now on those castings on the end where I was able to really ram them good, we didn't have that problem. It was on the sides, and if you remember on the video where I'm actually making the cores, I wasn't able to ram in those sides as well as I was on the end, so they're more compact on the ends than they were on the sides. That's why we had the fluid of the bronze flowing into those areas like that. I just wanted to clear that up in case you didn't understand what I was talking about. Now, the remainder of this video, I'm going to take you to Houston, Mississippi. Josie, Dollar, and myself had a great time. Great people up there. Mr. Harry Collins, he kind of orchestrates everything there. He had called me and asked me if I could come up, I think last year, and we just couldn't do it. But I took him up on it this time. We made time, and I don't regret it. I don't have a lot of video because I was steadily bustling, right? I believe we're going back in April for an event there that's a little bigger. It's the same event, but it's just they do it twice a year. Prior to that, Josie and I started pouring a lot of merchandise to take with us. And, you know, a lot of people, if they don't see me out there pouring during the event with the display there, they don't put the connection together and realize this stuff's made right here in Mississippi, or in the United States for that matter. But it was fun. I enjoyed getting to meet all the people in that part of the state. Very good folks. And I am looking forward to going back.
Foundry, the Blacksmith Guild of North Mississippi. That's got to be really close to 2,100 degrees, people. Now, he can be found on YouTube, on Whitney Hill Foundry, on YouTube. So go home tonight and look at his old
Christian, what's your Instagram?
All right, good morning once again.
Blackman Blacksmith.
Oh, let's see. Keep the Anvil thrower. Now listen, if you people have got a guilty conscience like I do, and you're sort of guilty, and they shoot that Anvil off, you might go to testify to something that you did and they don't want to hear about. You might be a little ashamed of it. And that's going to benefit the basket.
How long you been blacksmithing?
Houston High School basketball.
3 years, almost 4.
Okay.
Gas you turn on, what's coming out of the tank down here. How many turns do you make on this? It's just like that.
They're going to put me on live TV. Or, well, I don't think live TV, but I'm going to actually be on television.
You're going to be on TV tonight on WCBI. That's right, at 6 o'clock.
And that's in
6
Columbus?
p.m. Central. Our main office is in Columbus. I live in Tupelo, but yes, sir.
Okay.
You ever heard of Tupelo?
Oh, yeah.
Some guy was born there. He did pretty good in the music.
I was kind of caught off guard. I wasn't expecting to be on television, guys.
Right, and you've got your own YouTube channel.
Yeah.
You should be used to being on like
we
TV.
don't like to warn
Well,
people
see,
or they won't call.
No,
So
I'm
we
used
like
to being able to
ambush.
crop out certain parts of me I don't like, you know, and I'm at your mercy now, see.
We're going to
So-
make you look good, Windy Hill Foundry.
All right. So,
Hey, how you doing?
Kirby Alley, Harry and myself
Parked in the food
Going
vendor
are
parking
going-
lot, and we have some vendors that need to get in. We have an Alcorn County vehicle and a Monroe County vehicle.
we're going to an Anvil shoot, and I'm going to be the one pushing the button.
I've never been to an Anvil shoot. Have
Yeah.
you?
I've heard of them,
I've heard of them.
and I heard they're fun to be at. You just don't want to be where it's coming down.
No, you want to definitely be out of the way.
Yeah. So what we're looking at is a combustion chamber right here below the anvil. And it looked like the combustion chamber was, what's the diameter of that hole?
Maybe 2 3/4.
Yeah, about 2 3/4, and there's 1 pound of, is that triple F black powder?
I think that's blast, so it'd be FG.
I wasn't expecting to be the honorary button pusher on this. I'm very excited. Never shot an anvil before. I am enjoying this event tremendously. And if you're ever in the Houston, Mississippi area during this time of the year, you really need to come and see this.
2, 3.
You know I'm going to be doing this at the house. Right? Kirby was my witness.
I was
Since I didn't-
officially a flywheeler now. Welcome to Houston.
Yeah, and not only that, I think we're going to do this at home. Are you ready?
What are we doing?
Mr. Nagata, I'm Della Street, Perry Mason's secretary.
So this bell is not the same one you have seen me show you before. This is a new bell, or a new old bell. And this was given to me by Mr. George McDaniels up in the Houston, Mississippi area. We wanted to cast something different than what we had brought. So I told Josie to go look around, see if she can find a bell that'll fit in the flask size that we were using. And she brought me this back under the agreement we would be borrowing it and then give it back to him in as good a shape as we borrowed it from, right? But anyway, Mr. McDaniel was kind enough to let us have this. If he's watching, I want you to know I really appreciate that. And I am going to take good care of it, and I'm going to keep everything together. I did disassemble it in order to be able to pull it from the sand. But all this will stay together. George McDaniels informed me that this bell was probably from the 1880s. I think that's what he told me. So we're going to take very good care of this, I promise. Yeah, I love bells. We don't cast them, but at some point we are going to do a really nice bell, and it's going to be a big one. I'm going to cast that when I cast my cannon barrel and stuff. I could kick myself for not getting more video of the event. Mr. Harry Collins, as I had mentioned before, he coordinated everything, got it together. Very nice gentleman. I hate I didn't get him in this video. We'll catch him on the next one for sure. But we did have a good time. The people there were very warm and welcoming. Weather was great. I really enjoyed it. It's hard to relax a lot of the times when you're at events because there's so much you're trying to get done at the same time, be social, right? But I actually managed to pull it off. I spent the first day being social, the second day getting it done. Anyway, hope y'all enjoyed some of that clip. And like I said, they're going to be doing this again in April. If you want to make plans to attend, I'd love to see you there. My neighbors are building a new house, but they're sinking so much into it, I guess they can't afford indoor plumbing. For those who have been asking about the Windy Hill Foundry hats, these are now available on my website, windyhillfoundry.com, under stores, or you can click on the above link. These are on the pricey side, but keep in mind the shipping is included. Have a good day.